Let's consider now the reaction of ethane with each of the halogens. So, fluorination, chlorination, bromination, and iodination. We've already seen for chlorination that the first propagation step is for ethane to react with chlorine to form HCl and the ethyl radical. And then the second propagation step is for ethyl radical to react with Cl2 to form chloroethane. And we generate the chlorine radical. And we know that propagation step 1 was exothermic by 2 kilocalories per mole. And propagation step 2 was exothermic by 29 or 27 kilocalories per mole. So that the overall reaction was exothermic by 29 kilocalories per mole. Let's consider the same 2 propagation steps for each of the other possible pathways. So for fluorination, propagation step 1 would be CH3CH2, CH3CH3, sorry, reacting with the fluorine radical, form HF, and the ethyl radical. We're breaking 101 kilocalories per mole bond, and we're forming the very strong hydrogen fluorine bond at 136 kilocalories per mole. And then in propagation step 2, we're breaking the fluorine-fluorine bond at only 38 kilocalories per mole, and we're forming the carbon-fluorine bond and regenerating the fluorine radical, and the carbon-fluorine bond is about 110 kilocalories per mole. So we can calculate the enthalpy of each of those reactions the same way we did before. This one is exothermic by 35 kilocalories per mole. This one is exothermic by 62 plus 10, 72 kilocalories per mole. And the overall reaction is highly exothermic at minus 107 kilocalories per mole. Certainly that reaction could go. In fact, it goes so quickly and explosively that it's not synthetically useful. It's too uncontrollable. Add the difficulty of controlling that highly exothermic reaction because of the large amount of energy released to the fact that working with fluorine is very dangerous and difficult because it's toxic and corrosive and actually eats through glass containers, and HF, which is a highly dangerous hydrophilic acid, because of its small size, it can pass through skin and not corrode the skin, but corrode the bone when it gets in there. So both exposure to F2 and exposure to HF can be fatal, and you've got a highly exothermic reaction that's not really controllable. So we're not going to introduce fluorine into organic molecules by free radical fluorination. Let's consider propagation step 1 and 2 for bromine. It's the same first step. We're breaking the same carbon-hydrogen bond, plus 101 kilocalories per mole for that primary CH bond. But now we're reacting with bromine radical to form HBr plus the ethyl radical. And the hydrogen-bromine bond is significantly weaker than the hydrogen-fluorine or hydrogen-chlorine bond at approximately 87 kilocalories per mole. So we can determine that this reaction is endothermic. By about 14 kilocalories per mole. We have to put in 101 kilocalories per mole, and we only get back out 87 kilocalories per mole. That's quite endothermic. The second step will have to be significantly exothermic in order to make this reaction proceed. So in the second step, the ethyl radical reacts with bromine to form ethane. Regenerate the bromine radical. We're breaking the bromine-bromine bond. Fortunately, that only costs us 46 kilocalories per mole, significantly less than it costs to break the chlorine-chlorine bond. And we're getting back a carbon-bromine bond which releases about 70 kilocalories per mole. Not as much as the carbon-chlorine bond, but still a pretty exothermic reaction. And it's about 70 kilocalories per mole for all the different carbon-bromine bonds. So this is favorable by about minus 24 kilocalories per mole. Which makes the overall reaction exothermic by minus 10 kilocalories per mole. Free radical bromination does not proceed as quickly as free radical chlorination, but it is still useful. The exothermic step 2 drives the endothermic step 1, so we get an overall endothermic or exothermic reaction. Less exothermic than chlorine, and certainly a lot less exothermic than fluorine. What about for iodination? The iodine-iodine bond is even weaker. So initiating it would be no problem. Again, 101 kilocalories per mole to break the CH bond. But now we only get back about 57 kilocalories per mole when we form the HI bond. That's endothermic by 44 kilocalories per mole. And in the next step, the ethyl radical reacts with I2. That costs us only 36 kilocalories per mole. And we get back, when we form the carbon-iodine bond, approximately 56 kilocalories per mole. The hydrogen iodine and the carbon iodine bond are not very different in energy. And I got that one wrong. Hydrogen iodine bond is actually minus 71. There we go. That's good change 6. Right, so it's actually not quite as endothermic as I said. It's actually only plus 30 kilocalories per mole. But the second step is exothermic by only 20 kilocalories per mole. And that means that the overall reaction is endothermic by about 10 kilocalories per mole. second step is not exothermic enough to make up for the endothermicity of the first step. And I'm estimating the numbers here, 70 to 71 for all the carbon-bromine bonds, 55 to 57 for all the carbon-iodine bonds. So I may not have these numbers exactly as they are in the table. So we'll see that free radical fluorination is highly exothermic, too uncontrollable to be synthetically useful. Chlorination and bromination hit the sweet spot, minus 29 and minus 10. Those are both exothermic, but not so exothermic as to be uncontrollable. Free radical iodination is an overall endothermic pathway. This is too high an activation energy in its first step. So this will not be a useful way to get iodine into the molecule. So in our remainder of our study, we will limit ourselves to free radical chlorination and free radical bromination. Those are the two halogenation mechanisms that are useful and can produce building blocks or feedstocks for future reactions of alkyl halides, which will be the